Good evening and welcome to Thinking Re-envisioned. You're just seconds away from the unbeatable Henry G. Noel. Believe me when I say your ego has met its match. Here's Henry.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Transitional Radio, home of Brian Brody's All Natural Being, IPM Nation's Sneak Speaks, Lee Rawley's Copy That Speaks, and this, our 31st episode of Thinking Re-envisioned. Hi, everybody. I am Henry G. Noel, your host for Thinking Re-envisioned. We are committed to making you think, making you question, and question everything. I wish to thank you for joining me this Wednesday evening. Last evening, we were discussing how a prognostication from a doctor informing someone of their pending demise seems to be the trigger setting off a remarkable change in people. The change is how we determine what is now important in our lives, we having received that kind of news. Well, tonight, I want to cover why are we not living our lives and doing what we want now while we can enjoy it. We all know we will die at some point in time, so why wait for the doctor's note to give us permission? So we are live this evening from our uplink studio in Cuenca, Ecuador, the number 2 most listened to cities in the world on IPMNation.com. We're broadcasting live on IPMNation.com and Thinking Re-envisioned's Facebook and YouTube pages. I wish to thank all of our listeners from around the globe listening on the radio, those listening in to the rebroadcasts, and to you, our fly-on-the-wall video listeners, for taking the time to tune in. I would also like to thank our good friends at Wirecast for making it possible for us to actually be broadcasting both live and globally. And again, a big thank you to my brother for harassing the dickens out of me while we're on, but for all the stuff that Brian and I throw at him, he handles it all. So, to all of our listeners who wish to participate in the show, please email me it's right there, henry@henrygnoel.com. And I want to make it so that everybody that listens can be as actively involved as they want. Now, we trust that you've had an enjoyable Wednesday thus far, and I am truly hoping that that continues. So let's get into tonight's topic of why we have to wait to get a permission from the doctor to live our life the way we're supposed to. So anyway, just want to go ahead and get into the thread and say hi to everybody. So again, thank you, bro. Appreciate you being here. Candace, thank you so much for tuning in. Matt, thank you so much for the support. We really do appreciate it. Thank you, Matt. Rita, thank you so much. Candace, again, peace, peace, peace. Alice, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Yeah, last night we covered why it is that we have to, once we receive that note from the doctor that gives us this finite length of time that we have for our life, we seem to change, and we really decide to go out there and start doing the things that we have in our bucket list that we have saved up all of our lives, the things that we really wanted to do. And so what I wanted to find out is, so why do we do that? We all know we're going to die anyway. We just haven't received the pink slip yet. And, falling short of simply saying, writing a note to yourself on a little stick-em note and says, my death date is, and put a question mark, and then live our life as if we had just received a date and not save everything up. I mean, I would love it for people to simply not even have a bucket list. Just do what it is that they want. I do apologize for the sound, for the voice. I have contracted a cold, I guess. I don't know why I would have contracted it, but I did. And so sorry about that. Head is very stuffed up and all of the fun stuff you get with a cold. But wanted to make sure that just, again, put it out. Why is it that we just don't do that? Why do we just continue with the grind, continue with the stress, continue with all of the things that have probably made me sick? But at the same time, why does it take this final statement by the doctor to say, yep, you got 9 months to go, you got a year, you've got 2 years at best, you may as well want to get out there and start living your life and enjoy it? Why don't we do that now? So Candace says, Bucket List was one of my very favorite movies. She says, yes, sure makes you think. And it's true. It really is. It's a great movie. But it really lays that out for you when you really want to look at the bucket list and ask, why do we even have a bucket list? If we actually did the things we want to do that we throw into that bucket list, and we actually did them, we wouldn't need the bucket list. And we have a whole lot more time to enjoy this rather than waiting to receive some notice that you have a few months to go. And so this is really what I wanted to find out is why. Why do we do this? Why is this? Is this an inherent as a human trait? Is it something that we all do, or is it that we finally wake up at some point in time, probably from the note, and say, you know what, maybe this just hasn't been worth it. Maybe it is time to just go out there and have some fun and enjoy it. Live it like it's the last day. And I still haven't found that song, that country western song about that. And again, apologize for the cold. I really do. Gotta hydrate. Sorry about that. I'm trying to keep the coughing down to a dull roar here. But yeah, it's so disconcerting for me to realize that understanding we are going to leave this place. I mean, I don't know of anybody who has actually gotten out of here alive, and to me, at least you don't take your body with you. But because it happens, why don't we just live the life as if this was our last day, so that we could enjoy it longer if we're given that length of time. But to me, I just having a finite date by some doctor and say this is it. No, I just can't get into that. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. And so I really want to find out how you guys think about it. And for the guys out there on the radio, for all you folks out on the radio, it's something to think about. Whether you're sitting in a battle zone, or and you're a military guy taking leave or working and you're tuning into the show, or whether you are just anywhere in the world listening in. What is it with us that we can't seem to enjoy our lives until we know it's going to end? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So I appreciate your opinions, and do appreciate your stream. So thank you very much. I really do thank you. And when and maybe the question would be to ask out, have you decided yet to live your life the way you want to, or are you still waiting? Maybe that's a better question. Is it something that we need to sit down and talk about a bit? Why we wait? Why is it that we hold back? And have you guys found yourselves holding back, living your life the way you want to do it? I know money is a concern for everybody. That I totally get, and I do get that. But it's interesting how when we no longer have that responsibility, or we don't take that responsibility of making sure that your family is taken care of. That's the thing. Is my whole fun thing was always saying, yeah, I'm sit down. My kids' inheritances is going to be spent. Just because that's that was something that I used to joke about with them, because to me it was important to understand that you still have to live your life, and it's not that important that that you have all of these obligations that we create because we were taught to do this. This is what we were taught to have these obligations. And so why do we have them? I mean, it, we have to live our lives, and there's no reason to not have those experiences, and there's no reason to feel guilt about having those experiences, rather than shoulda, woulda, coulda. I wish I'd have done that. I could have done this and I didn't. And we beat ourselves up and lying on that deathbed and sitting here with all the guilt of not having done the things we wanted to do. That's senseless. To me, that's senseless. We gotta not do that. The usual excuse is this gets taken care of. The kids get out, get out of college. My job gets more settled, etc. Procrastination, waiting for the perfect time, which never comes. Absolutely, that's true. That I would have to give that. That's a gimme. Because that's true. We just don't take the time. We procrastinate. We always have an excuse to not do it. And That is the issue. We have excuses to not live a life that we want to live. And then we wonder why we lost the happiness. You know, we have it. It's always been there. It's never gone away. It's we've just covered it with so many excuses that we think it's just not there. Well, welcome, Sue. It's great. I didn't see that your icon popped up. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you very much for the comment. It's great to see you. My goodness, this is cool. But yes, why do we do this? Why do we wait? Why do we not enjoy this life? I mean, I see so many people. You know, they get older. And I can't speak outside that much. I mean, I'm getting older too. I mean, we're getting up there, and and to lay around and worry and be frustrated because I'm not healthy enough to go out and do the things I wanted to go do that was in my bucket list. Why? We can do that. We could have done that when we were younger. And for the news and message out there for the younger people, you plan for this. You know it's going to cost money to go take that trip to Tahiti or that world cruise. So save up for it. Start putting money aside and start doing that. You'll have a lot more in your bucket list than that. Believe me, when you get close to the end. But like I said, people coming here, bringing their children for the experience, and they're young kids. I mean, they're still school age, and they're bringing them so that they can experience the world. That they've stepped out the comfort zone. They decided to create their own path, and they're doing it. And I admire that. I think that's great. I mean, we live here now. We moved because to me it was important. It was important to do that, to finally experience the world. I mean, we talk about it. We know nothing about the rest of the world when we're living in the United States. We know nothing about the rest of the world. So to me, the best way to learn is not to sit there and listen to Fox News or CNN or MSNBC or whoever, but get out and experience the world because that's where it all is. Of course, now we throw in the fears. Well, yes, money was one thing, but now we have the fear. I don't know if I really want to go there. For, so like I said, one excuse after another, we can come up with a reason why we just crawl in a hole and let it all go. But that's not who you guys are. That's just not it. You're big. You're bigger than that. You got the chutzpah to get out there and to live life the way you want to do it. And to me, that's what it's all about. To me, the saddest comment to hear from somebody is, "Wow, you guys have experienced this. You moved to Ecuador. You did all this stuff. We're going to live our life vicariously through you." Stand, get out there and live it. Go out there and experience it. To me, that's what it is. You don't know what's going on until you get out there. I mean, that's why the comments on everybody thinks they know who they are. We have no clue who we are until you start getting out, start experiencing things, start putting yourself into the positions where, wow, you need to rethink things. You really need to look at things a different way. And again, and rethinking things that have to be done, that's what the name of the show is all about. Thinking Re-envisioned. We have to change the way we are. Stop with the excuses and get out there and experience the world. Experience the country. I mean, I had friends that I knew in high school. I don't think they ever left their hometown, much less traveled around the country, much less left the country. And to me, that is sad. There you go. That's it, Rita. Thank you. Just do it. John, welcome to the show. It's great to see you. Thank you. But yeah, just do it. Just get up and do it. You can have a million excuses to not do something. You just need one to do it. Just go do it. And so that's what it's all about. Good evening, John. Again, welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry about the sound, the voice, and everything. It was a cold decided to grab hold of me yesterday, and it's there. It's there. The voice is getting lower and lower and lower. Pretty soon it'll be echoing in here. It's already echoing in my head, but sorry about that. It's crazy. But yeah, why wait till the last moment? Why wait to be given your your checkout card? You know, your checklist, your punch list, as my dad would call it, when inspecting an apartment building after he was finished painting. To get the old checklist and or the whatever they called it, a tick list. And why wait till we have that to finally go through and say, well, I didn't accomplish this. I never did that. I never went there. I didn't do this. Why? We can do that. We can go. We can do that. We can visit. We can do these things rather than wait until we get that punch out cars and just do it. John says, no worries. Hope you feel better soon. Thanks, John. Me too. Excuse me again. Apologize. I love colds. But yeah, it's extremely important that we live our lives. And if we're going to set an example for our children, why not set that example rather than follow in my footsteps, put your nose to the grindstone, work yourself to death and wait until just before you get ready to die to go enjoy your life. We weren't placed here to go through all of this stuff. Somehow money became the driving force. We got convinced that money was the issue. Money was what we needed to do. And that is what we live our lives for, is to make money so we can go do these things. But I'll tell you what, just being able to have hobbies, to go out and do things. I've had friends that I worked with for, God, 30 years, 40 years. They retired. I had no interest except the job. That was their life. Been divorced 4 or 5 times because the job was their life. And they finally retired from the job, and 3 weeks later, they die. I mean, wow. We're better than that, man. We're better than that. It's time. Mortal up. I mean, Brian has got it right. Mortal up. Live the life you want to live, because nobody else is going to live it for you. And if they do, you're not going to reap the benefits of it. So I think it's really important that we start doing that we start living our life the way we're supposed to live it, and enjoy it, have fun with it. I mean, take the memories with us. I think that's what's really important to us, and I think that's really where we're at. Um, oh, there you go, Candace, be an RV nomad. We have family that do that, drive all over the country and have been everywhere, every state except Alaska. I mean, except Hawaii, in the RV, and I think they went and they rented one there. But I mean, Canada, all over, east to west coast in Canada, Mexico. We had a friend of ours. His name is Fatty Bear, is what he goes by. He's from Toronto, Canada. He drove his car from Canada all the way down through the United States, down to Mexico, all the way down to Panama. Put the car on through the canal. Got it over here to South America. He's been through every country in South America. He's actually took the car on a ferry over to Antarctica just to say he could do that. And then he came back up the eastern coast of South America through Argentina and Brazil, went up into Venezuela, put the car back onto a boat, took it across over, went into a couple of Caribbean islands, got it back to the States, went to Europe. I mean, there's no reason we can't do this. There really isn't. Let's see. Candace says, I love it, and take. Oh, I'm sorry. I love it and make fur babies. So no rush. Yep, that's fur baby. I love it. We really do have to do the things that we really should be doing, because we do lose out. It's our loss, and that's the thing that is so sad. I think that's the problem that we do. We think we're going to live forever when we know in fact we don't. And I think we just shirk that idea and that consciousness, knowing that we have a short period of time, and so we blow it off until you can no longer blow it off, and then you get hit with the news, and then, wow, times change. Oh, I should have done this 20 years ago. And that's the answer you get from a lot of people. Should have done this 20 years ago. If I'd have known what I know now, I'd have done it 20 years ago. Well, you guys have the opportunity to do it now. And the young people have a real good chance to do that. Michaela, oh, sorry, I just saw your name there. Thank you very much for joining. It's great to see you. Boy, it's been a long time. Wow, that's great. But yeah, this is what I'm trying to get you guys to do, to try to get you to understand, yes, we can listen to me, you can listen to Brian, and we can tell you all of these things to do, all of these things the way you like, mortal up, bring on your own bold, show your own natural being. But if you're not going to do anything about it, we may as well talk to ourselves. And that's not what we want to do. We want to see people change. And then passing it down to our kids. Give them the plant the seed is all you can do. I mean, you can't change anybody, but you can plant the seed. And then if it grows, it grows. If it doesn't grow, great. It's just that at least we've done our job and we've planted the seed to let people enjoy their life rather than the stress and the illness and the diseases that we all have that are so stress related. Stay active, stay thinking. Um, the hobbies, gosh, my salvation has been so many hobbies that I have. And then this was actually a new hobby. I hadn't even thought about ever doing this, but between writing music, between I love puzzles, just love puzzles. Writing is fabulous for me. So, I have a ton of hobbies that I really enjoy. I mean, I love needlepoint. I mean, I just really enjoy doing a lot of hobbies, and so I can keep busy and I can keep my mind going. But there's so many people, like I said, the friends of mine that after 40 years of knowing them, and they finally retire to go enjoy the rest of their life, and they die because they missed the job so much because that's all that they recognize. That's all they identified themselves with. Without the job, they had no life, and they cashed it in. I mean, they simply passed away. So I don't want anybody to do that. I want you to enjoy your lives. I want you to have fun. I want you to have the memories. Take the memories in your energetic consciousness when you bug out of this body. Take those experiences with you, because this is what it's all about. Not the stress that we live in, not all of this other garbage that we've had that we've been taught has been our, as John likes to mention, and he loves to say the word programming. It's not. It's about living our life the way we want to live it, under the circumstances and the criteria with which we want to define it, not the way it has been defined for us, and not with all of the guilt and all of the other stigma that is attached to deciding to live your life the way you want to. I mean, we have been so well trained that even if we entertain the thought of spending our kids' inheritance, oh, what a bad parent you are. Yeah, nobody in this world is entitled to anything. You may as well enjoy it. I mean, enjoy it. Sorry about that. Candace says, my kids travel a lot. They're been everywhere. Good for them. Absolutely, Candace. And my hat's off to them, because that's what it's all about. It's enjoying their life. Enjoying their life. Because that's what we have to do. Nobody's going to enjoy it for us. That's for sure. I'm about to choke up here, bro. Oh, I just love colds. John says, it's hard to get rid of when we continue to march our future generations into the same indoctrination houses that we were indoctrinated into. It is. But it's harder to accept that it still continues. I think, really, if we really look at it, John, we can make the decisions to change that. We don't have to re-indoctrinate our kids. We don't have to beat their invisible friends out of them. We can do what needs to be done to encourage all of that, not to browbeat them, to allow them to be kids longer. I mean, kids are in such a hurry to grow up nowadays, and I've watched that change over the years. Let them be kids, let them be encouraged. I'm not worried about being embarrassed because my daughter can see spirits. It's what a great compliment it is. But people are embarrassed by that, or that they'll sit and talk and talk and talk, and there's nobody there. Hell, I do that to myself. But I think that it's not embarrassing at all. I don't have that concern about the way people see me, because it's not that important. Their opinions don't matter. I'm enjoying my life, and I just want to see everybody do it the way that they can. And that's all I want to see. That's the whole purpose of this show, is to get us to change the way we think, to stop seeing the same indoctrination, as John calls it, go to our children that we went through, and not even realize we went through it. not be held captive to news agencies, not to be held captive to religious institutions or political organizations, to not identify ourselves and label ourselves, linking and tying us to this as our identity, because that's not who we are. Henry. Candace says, Henry, I have a cold flu for 2 weeks. I went to the doctor today. It just kept getting worse. I hope you feel better. Thank you very much, Candace. I appreciate that. Yeah, Rita's taking care of me. Believe me, she's doing what she can do. I'm just a bit stubborn sometimes, and I'm sure she'll write up there. What do you mean sometimes? John says we have to stop allowing the shit that's the shit show mold on our children into the state. Yes, absolutely. We have to. We have the opportunity to right a lot of wrongs. We really do have that opportunity. We have to know we should do it. I really think. The song "Cats in a Cradle" by God, I love colds, but the "Cats in the Cradle" was a song about exactly that. How he never took time for his son, and the son finally grows up and grew up just like him, has no time for him for the father. Well, that's what it's all about. I mean, we can take that time. We just have to simply understand the job is not that bloody important. Our time away from home is not that important. What is important is the time we spend at home and with the kids and enjoying the things that we should be doing, rather than the excuses to not be home. Cat Stevens, thank you very much, Candace. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I may be able to sleep tonight. John says, take them out of the school and can't teach, and start teaching them what they and we want to teach. For them to be taught. That's absolutely true. But we really do have to make sure we have our heads screwed on straight too, John. That we are teaching them the things that they should be learning, rather than the things that they learn in school. Entitlements is not it. Yeah, Harry Check. Thank you very much, Rita. I want to be just like you did. It's tough. We do this, and we need to stop doing it. We have to start living our lives and teaching our kids how to live their lives, rather than following our footsteps. Unless we have changed it and we want to live our lives and be happy with it, then of course have them follow in our footsteps if that's the case. But let them travel, as Candace's kids are doing. Travel, experience. Take classes, do things that you don't normally do. Go out and get involved in things that the whole family can be involved in, and spend time with the kids, not just plop them in front of a TV with a video game, and this way then you can talk. No, be involved with them and talk to them and show them the things that are going on in the world, and talk about them, explain what it is that's happening and why it's happening and what needs to happen to stop all of this. We have that right. We have that ability. We have that opportunity. We just don't seem to take it. And that's what needs to happen. Daniel, welcome, Daniel. We're just about done. I have 30 seconds to go, I think. So anyway, I want to thank you for joining in with us. I appreciate it, Daniel. Thank you. I hope you're having fun down in Aloha. John, hope you feel, but thank you very much, John. I appreciate it. I really do. And Candace, thank you so much again for everybody. I appreciate the well wishes. I'm going to say good night. I'm going to go take care of this cold, and hasta mañana. See you tomorrow. Thank you.